So, hey, Stacy. Hey, everybody. It's Sandy Smith and Stacy Portugal here from Lifestyle Masterclass, and we're here to talk to you today about embracing the discomfort of change. And that sounds probably a little odd, the idea of embracing the discomfort. But we were talking about the kind of tried and true rule that folks will change when the discomfort of staying the same is greater than the discomfort of changing. And so if you think about that, um, that's where we decide to make a difference. And have you seen that in your clients?
For sure, for sure. Because, people get really sidetracked by the discomfort of change. But I think one of the motivating factors to make a change is to really be cognizant of how you feel without the change. So you almost have to embrace that discomfort and really keep it sort of top of mind in order to keep yourself motivated to make the changes that you need to, create habits that are going to get you to whatever your health goals are.
Right, right. And we're going to talk in just a minute. And our goal today is to help everyone understand ways that they can create those habits and why those habits maybe aren't happening. But I think it would be good if we took just a minute, in case we've got some folks watching that don't know who we are, to say who we are. So I'm Sandy Smith. I'm the founder of Kick It Up Coaching, and I'm a personal weight loss coach for women over 50 to help them go from feeling frumpy to feeling fabulous in their bods. And Stacy, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm Stacy Portugal, and weight loss coach, and I really help women, primarily who are over 40, but I really help women get results, gain their confidence, lose the weight, kind of finally get it done. And I really do it primarily through low carb living. That's really sort of my prime method. But I help women lose weight in whatever way works best for them, of course. But and we also do a fabulous thing together, which I love. Every Sunday, Sandy and I come together for Lifestyle Masterclass, and it is a weekly coaching session. It's done virtually, about 45 minutes every week. And we're really a community of women who support each other in their weight loss and health goals.
Right, right. It's a great, fun, dynamic group.
Yeah.
And so we wanted to bring a little bit of information for you today. So we alluded to the fact that when the discomfort of staying the same becomes greater than the discomfort of changing, that we'll move forward and embrace that change. And I love the way you put it in our notes when we talked ahead of time. Well, okay, so why not that next step? Habits are hard to break. We all know that. Habits can be so hard to break. And routines can be really hard to build. So that gap creates that distance where we're unable to make the changes in our life. And so our goal today is to give you all a little bit of information on how can you do that? What are some steps that can help you build those healthy routines so that you can live a life that is comfortable and still gets you to your goals?
Absolutely. And I just want to add that really understanding that our health and our ability to reach whatever goals up there, the dog would like to join us.
Hi, Sam.
There you go. Sam is saying hi. Now Sadie's saying hello. Our ability to reach our goals, I think, is somewhat dependent on our ability to really understand ourselves and our behavior. And so once you understand the important role that small changes make to have big impact, I think that it can make a huge difference in your success rate, for sure.
Right, right. I agree that building, both Stacy and I are very habit oriented, that idea of creating those steps that are going to get you where you want to be. And so we have 4 steps for you today for
Mm-hmm.
helping to create those routines that you can apply to the tiniest change or the biggest change, right? It's you decide,
Absolutely.
how to
And
do
this
that.
applies not just for health goals. These are just goals of all sorts, whether you're, in your job, you've got a goal. Maybe you're working on a goal with one of your kids. Maybe it's a fitness goal, a wellness goal, a relationship goal. These can really apply to a lot of different things. These are good for general steps, I think.
Right. And I love that the same things that can help you in other areas of your life that maybe you're already using in other areas, you just haven't broken them down and identified them. And you think, oh, I do that on another project. I can do that here,
Exactly.
So
Very
that
true.
the first step that we have today to present is the idea of creating a pregame routine for your ritual that's easy and is kind of a no-brainer to get you going. So, any thoughts, any ideas on what we might mean by that? Any
Yeah.
illustration?
So let's definitely define that for people. Pre-game routine meaning, no, it's not a tailgate party, but what it really means is kind of understanding what it takes to kind of set that new habit in motion that you're trying to build. So, for example, if you're trying to build a routine, let's say of a morning workout, maybe the pregame routine is every night you leave your workout clothes in the bathroom. So essentially, you get up, get dressed, wash up, you get right into your workout clothes. There's no decision making, and you're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
So
And you
that's
just
a pre-game routine.
Yeah, and you
Preparing
just said
yourself.
some really important things. One is, you want to make it that little step right there a habit, a routine, a ritual, and you want to make it so that once you've completed that, it's kind of like falling off a rock to do the next thing. So almost everybody, that's a great example because almost every client that I talk to, the first thing they do when they get up is go to the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
And if those clothes are right there,
Right.
you've taken all of the decision making out, which that's the next thing. I like to compare it to brushing your teeth. Most of us don't really think, am I going to brush my teeth this morning? I don't know if I have time. We just do it, right? And so the toothbrush is there and we just do it. It's the beginning of our day. And so this would be the same kind of thing. You take all the decision making out of it that you can, you know?
And I want to mention something really important too that you're illustrating is you want to attach it onto an already existing routine that is set in motion, whether it's brushing your teeth or we all like get up every morning. Pretty much most of us just head straight to the bathroom. These are all routines that are already in place. So
Right.
tacking it on to an existing routine is a great pregame strategy.
Right, right. I love that. And sometimes you have to get
We're
creative
in Super
about
Bowl mode here. Just-
ah. So sometimes you do have to get creative, but knowing that the most friction to get something done occurs at the beginning of it. So
True.
and you're using your gym example, if you have to stop in the closet and think, what's the temperature? What do I want to wear? Oh, it's cold. Maybe I don't want to go out at all.
Exactly.
So you just want to take all the decision making out that you can. And then realizing that, okay, now you've gotten over the hurdle. So the next step is pretty easy. We want to make sure that that next step actually moves you towards what it is you're trying to do. So for instance, if we stay with the workout routine.
Yeah, so I was going to say that's a really good point. So it's really is all about getting the clutter out of your head. So it has to be on autopilot. So
Mhm.
let's say that you tacked on putting on your workout clothes to your existing routine of getting up every morning and going into your bathroom. The next step has to be a straight shot or getting into the car to go to the gym, going in your basement to go onto a treadmill, or something that is going to lessen the clutter, the risk for detours in your head. So, In other words, we don't want to be getting into the car and then, spontaneously saying, oh, wait, maybe I'll just stop at the grocery store. And then you missed your class.
Right.
So you really have to I think that's where you really have to say to yourself, I'm in my gym clothes. This is what I'm doing. I'm going in the car right now and I'm going to the gym.
Right.
Or this is my routine. And then I go to the gym at this time.
Right, right. It's interesting because as a yoga instructor, I think it's funny, with one of my classes is a 9:20 class during the week. And it is really funny to see the folks that come wheeling in at the last minute, afraid that they lost, that they lost that time because they had unplanned stops. And so when you set it in motion and you create a routine where that isn't going to happen, you don't have to worry about that. So at this particular time, I do this, and then I head to the gym,
right?
Or the yoga studio.
The clutter in your head. You just have to really,
right.
You have to know that that's not even a possibility.
Right. And the interesting thing is that next step then is just, we talk about lather, rinse, repeat regarding habits. Yeah. And so that third step is do this consistently.
Right. Right. Consistency is really the key for any goal that you're setting in any way, shape, or form. And for sure, when it comes to weight loss, that's going to make a really big difference. So really understanding the strength that you bring to the table when you're willing to be consistent. And the truth is, you have to commit to that same pattern of behavior for at least 21 days, at least. I would beg to differ that it takes even longer. But if you can stick with it for at least 21 days, I would say you're well on your way to a behavior change.
Right, right. And that would be our fourth step, which is repeat it, continue to repeat it, and work for at least that 21 days. Now that does assume that we're setting up a daily pattern,
Yes.
So it's what I would say is if it's a weekly pattern, for instance, if you're trying to hit, a class that is on a Wednesday morning at 9, then you want to make certain that you're doing that week after week after week and building that habit up, so whatever it is that you're choosing to do, repeating it and really aiming to repeat it consistently and as much as you can, getting that pattern down. It's interesting when the clients pay attention. I always love on a phone call when you say, well, how did the exercise go this week? Or how did this go? And they say, well, I think it went pretty well. And then you pull up their journal and you start talking about it and they say, well, I missed this day and I missed that day. And oh gosh, I really only did it 3 days this week, So that building that consistency, helps build in your margin for success.
And, I think that's really where the idea of accountability can be very helpful because none of us realize, I think we all have shiny object syndrome. We could be really focused in one moment and within just a few days, completely move on to something else. So if it's a goal that you really want to set, I think it's really important to have accountability, but also have a sense of reflection. Look back and say to yourself, constantly be in motion of analyzing. Is this working for me? Is there something about this routine that I need to adjust? And if that's the case, rethink it, readjust it, and move forward.
And you just brought up a great topic for another Be Live conversation, which is what's the difference between adjusting and moving on and shiny object syndrome? Because there is a difference. And how do we know? How do we understand?
I love that. Let's do that one next. That's a good one.
I love it. See why I like working with you? We come up with great ideas every time we talk.
Who else can talk about weight loss like the two of us? It makes us so happy. Why is that?
It does. It's so fun to talk to clients. And I just got off the phone with a client who was so excited she had lost 4 pounds in 2 weeks. And
oh my God!
So she was really ecstatic and really happy. So it's fun to share those moments. Do we want to talk at all about this weekend?
Yeah, for sure. So Sandy and I are going to be together in one room, not on a television screen.
Doesn't happen often.
That's right. This Sunday, January 28th at 10 a.m. at Panera Bread in Bannockburn, Illinois, which is at the corner of Route 22 and Waukegan Road. We will be there at 10 a.m. and we are doing a workshop for those who are determined to make this year's goals really count. So the name of the workshop is Turn Your Weight Loss Wishes into Goal Achieving Wins. And it will be an interactive workshop and will help people sort of bring clarity to their goals, get really specific. And then we're going to use the power of the group. We're going to strategize. We're going to inspire. We're going to drink a little coffee. So it'll be fun. And the workshop is free. So we hope you'll all join us.
Right. And it should be just about an hour. So not a big chunk out of your Saturday or Sunday. Excuse
Great
me.
way to
Last time
spend
was Saturday.
Oh,
Sunday.
Saturday,
we changed it up.
It's all good.
Yeah, last time it was Saturday, so this time we're doing Sunday.
Yeah.
So if you need more information, you can either comment below this video or you can private message either Stacy or I, and let us know. We're looking forward to seeing folks. It's always fun to see people in person.
Definitely.
And be able to.
You can RSVP. It's not absolutely required, but it does help us gauge how many materials we need because we will be giving out some materials.
Exactly.
So RSVP is very helpful.
Exactly. So just a quick recap. If you are wanting to build routines or habits that are going to help you move forward and reach those goals that you have set forth, then the steps that we would suggest for you, one is to create that pregame routine or ritual that just kind of gets you started. And the second one would be, remember that object in motion, right? You're going to keep going. So make that next step be one that takes you towards the goal that you want to achieve. The first one, maybe not. Maybe it's totally unrelated. And then the third step is just repeat it. Do it over and over and over again. That fourth step is aim for repeating it 21 times in a row in order to really cement that in as this is just what I do. Right?
Absolutely. And if there's comments that any of you would like to, if there's any subjects, any discussions that you would like Sandy and I to talk about and help you strategize, go ahead, put it in the comments section, even if you're listening to this on replay. So we always want to hear what you all think. And of course, our community begins in the comments. So we're interested in what you would like to hear about. So feel free to do that as well.
Definitely.
And I love what you said, Sandy. An object in motion stays in motion. So that's a really good takeaway from today's discussion. If you want to make a change, you got to keep that change alive. You got to keep it at top of mind.
Exactly. All right, great. I think that probably wraps us up for today. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in person on Sunday.
Yep. We'll see you all Sunday. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Sandy. Bye.
Bye-bye.